Okay, so you can just see here that I've bolted these cables in. If I can, I'm in an awkward spot here, but you can see I've put the washer underneath, and it has provided enough space for that connection to go in properly. It has just bent the plastic out of the way a little bit, which is fine, but it did tighten up pretty well. And those terminal blocks, or whatever you want to call them, they're actually pretty strong and sturdy, which is good to see. But yeah, the plastic covers will go on at that, I hope. And yeah, it's just sort of bent the little plastic cover out of the way just a little bit, but that's better than what I thought it was going to be. So I'll just show you what I've got here. I've got the inverter mounted up underneath the shelf, right? Oh. So that's a shelf, TV, another shelf above it. This is in the front V-nose section. So yeah, I've got the inverter mounted up under there, bolted in there, with nice little cuphead bolts in the top there. Little cuphead bolts. And I've got those cables. This one, positive, is going to run down to this positive terminal just here, like that. It'll have a couple of things on that terminal, so it'll have a cable running across to the other positive, and it'll probably also have a charge cable on there, which I can show you. Just grab it out of the packet, because the 40 amp charger, wherever that is now, I can't find it, because the 40 amp charger has a Anderson plug on it. So I'm just going to use a little dongle like this. It was the easiest solution. So I'll just run that between the two terminals, either here or here. It doesn't really matter where they are. It is common practice to go from a positive of one battery and then to the negative of another, because it seems to even up the load between the two batteries. Not that it really matters just for the charger, because it's only 40 amp, it's not going to draw a huge current. But for the inverter, it is common practice to run a positive to one end of the battery ensemble. Lost for words. So your battery pack, whatever it is, if it's in series or if it's in parallel, usually a high powered device, you put positive at one end of the battery pack, and then your negative at the other end. So that negative is literally just going to follow this other positive, right? As you can see, I did fit the caps up on there, so that's nice. So that'll just be tucked in there like that, with probably a few zip ties or whatever. You don't want it too neat, because it is a very high powered device. It could heat the cables up a bit, and the insulation does tend to migrate if it gets warm. So if you have two battery terminals that are two battery cables that are zip tied together quite tightly, your insulation in between them will actually migrate because it softens, and the zip tie sort of forces it out, so it sort of oozes out, if you know what I mean. So it's not a good idea, but you can loosely zip tie them, and then yeah, that'll just follow that one and be on this terminal about there-ish, with this probably underneath, just to provide a bit more room, because the terminals are upside down. It's just how they worked out. So this one is facing that way, so to make sure there's enough allowance there. I will have to put at least something underneath that. Well, obviously the red one. But yeah, if that goes underneath, and maybe a washer or something as well, that'll be fine. They'll be just sandwiched in there, and that'll be that. So the batteries are tied in there. Don't mind the grubby marks. This was my painting trailer, my tool trailer. So the inverter mounted here gives us access to the buttons, and the remote wire will go into that RJ45 connection and run to the other end of the trailer. So it should all work fairly well. I just have to plug an extension cord into this and run it into my power bank. So that's it for now.